Right on here. Today I'm gonna showcase Citrine, her abilities, and her build, so let's immediately start. Starting with her passive, Citrine grants nearby allies 5 health regeneration per second. Picking up health orbs increases the regeneration by 0.1 up to maximum 25, which is a lot of sustain for you and your team. Her first ability, Fractured Blast, what it does, it releases a crystal shockwave in front of you, dealing puncture and slash impact and slash damage. Enemies that die or are hit for her first ability are marked with a crystal above their head. When they die, they have a guaranteed chance, or they have a chance to drop health orbs and energy orbs. And one interesting thing about this ability, it has a really cool mechanic with the box destruction. You can destroy boxes with her first ability, which is pretty cool. Her second ability is Preserving Shell. What it does is gives you and your allies 90% damage reduction. So this 90% decays over time. To sustain it, you pretty much have to kill enemies, which is straightforward and easy. Your third ability, Prismatic Gem, what it does, it deploys a gem. When you damage enemies, the gem will shoot at the enemies, proccing, if you see below, heat, cold, electricity, and toxic damage. Also, if you and your allies are near the crystal, you will get a ton of status chance and status duration, as you can see down there, 250% status chance and 120% status duration. And her fourth ability, which I removed, replaced with Nourish, what it does is gives you and your allies energy multiplier and viral damage. So we're gonna start with the mods, but first I'm gonna start with the Archon mods. So I'm using 3 Archon mods: Archon Stretch, Archon Continuity, Archon Vitality. So Archon Vitality gives you twice as much more health, but what it also does is status effect from abilities that deal heat damage will also apply twice. So your third ability does heat damage, so instead of proccing 1 heat, it will proc 2 heat, which just gives you more damage overall and feels nice. Arcane Stretch gives you range, also abilities that deal electricity damage, restores energy over time, to you only, not to your allies. Your third ability procs, as you can see down there, electricity. Also, Nourish Energy Multiplier works with Arcane Stretch. So Nourish multiplies the energy regeneration from Arcane Stretch regeneration, giving you more regeneration over time to your energy. And I'm also using Arcane Continuity for duration. And abilities that inflict toxic status effect also apply corrosion status effect. Your third ability here also applies toxic, so that means toxic status effect will also proc corrosion. So instead of this ability proccing 4 elements, it will proc 5 elements. And yeah, it's a really nice synergy with these 3 mods for just one ability. I'm also using a ton of ability strength from Transient Fortitude, from Blind Range, from Growing Power. I'm using Adaptation for more survivability, and I'm using Prime Flow and Equilibrium for energy sustain and health sustain. One interesting thing with Equilibrium, it works really well, is her first ability. When you kill enemies that are marked with your first ability and die, they have a chance to drop health and energy orbs. The health and energy orbs will convert to the other energy. For the other orb, which this one says health pickups give you energy, energy pickups gives you health. So you're always going to be at max health and max energy. And it just feels amazing for you and your entire team. You just don't care about energy anymore. You don't care about health anymore. There's always floor is filled with health and energy orbs just by having a Citrine in your team. I'm also using Prime Shoot-Footed for knockback immunity. For the Arcanes, I'm using the Arcane Blessing. So Arcane Blessing, as it says there, on health pickups, you get 24 maximum health, stacks up to 50. So at 50, you get 1,200 more health, which is a ton of more survivability. Also, your first ability, mark enemies, you kill them, they drop health orbs. So you can easily cap the Arcane Blessing in less than a minute. When you start the game, you'll just cap this for you and your entire team if they have the Arcane Blessing. I'm also using our Molt Augmented. Molt Augmented on kill, you get 0.24 ability strength, stacks up to 250. So when you kill 250 enemies, 250 enemies. You get 60% ability strength. You just have to worry for one thing: if you die, the Arcane Blessing and the Arcane Augmented power-ups they give you. This one gives you health, this one gives you ability strength. If you die and you revive, you will lose them, so you need to restack them again. So that's pretty much the build, explanation to abilities, but now let me show you the gameplay. I'm also, what's very important, I'm using 2 Ember Arcane Shards, Archon Shards. 2 of them give me cast speed, so I can spam my abilities better. And I'm using 2 Ember Archon Shards that give me +2 corrosion status effect. So my corrosion, instead of stacking to 10, now it stacks to 14. At 14 stacks on the enemy, it fully armor strips enemies that have armor. So that's really good for me and for my entire team, especially for playing a tanky support. So I'm gonna showcase now the build itself. So it's pretty much straightforward. I'm going to explain to you how this build works. You summon this crystal. If you're near the crystal, you're gonna get the crystal buff, which gives you the status chance and status duration. If you damage an enemy, let's say this guy, I toss this unmodded Spira Prime, I hit an enemy, the crystal shoots and immediately procs, as you can see there, heat, cold, lightning, toxic, and corrosion. So 5 elements has been procced by just me tossing 1 Spire Prime, whatever you would call it, spear or whatever it is, card. For me it's cards. So I'm gonna showcase this now. If I summon crystal and I use my first ability on them, the crystal is also going to shoot because I'm damaging them. So the crystal is going to mark every single enemy, proccing the elements, which is cold, fire, lightning, toxin, and corrosion. Also, your first ability has a guaranteed chance, as you can see there, to proc impact and slash. So I'm proccing 7 elements on enemies just by 2 abilities. By using her third ability, her first ability, I'm proccing 7 elements. And also I do have Nourish, and Nourish is also another element, so I have 8 elements to proc on enemies. So it just feels amazing for me and for my entire team. Also, enemies that are marked with 1, and you kill them, as you can see here. I'm going to start killing. There's a ton of health and energy orbs on the floor. How do you know if they're marked? You press the button and you'll see at the top of their head this crystal. It's going to be your energy color. For me, it's this dark purple. So you're constantly going to prime enemies. They're always going to have 8 elemental status effects on them. You give your entire team energy and health sustain, snipes and damage reduction. It's very powerful. I use it as steel path. I have a lot of kills per minute with this build. Just by using Umprex, just summoning the crystal, pressing 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you just shoot, and the armor gets fully removed because I have 2 Ember Archon Shards. And yeah, these are 195 Corrupted Heavy Gunner Steel Path versions, and they all evaporate in seconds. It's a very powerful build. So yeah, I really enjoyed this build. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I'm gonna showcase one more time how they all disappear in seconds. And not only that, the crystal itself does a pretty good damage. So this is the crystal's damage. You can see how it's dotting constantly. And because the crystal itself has twice as much duration because of the passive the crystal gives to you, it also applies to the crystal itself, which makes status duration last twice as longer. As you can see here, status duration 127%. So that also applies on the crystal. So status elements do last longer. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the build. I hope you enjoyed. That's pretty much all. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope this build and guide helped. I will be making daily Warframe YouTube videos pretty much every day. I hope you subscribe for more and follow me on Twitch. I do stream regularly every day around 6 Eastern European time. Drop by. I love answering questions. So thank you everybody for watching. This was Rainalon, and I hope you enjoyed the YouTube video. Thank you. Goodbye.